Standard to vertex form. Complete the square to rewrite the quadratic function in vertex form. So I've rewritten the problem over here, and the way we're going to complete the square is we're going to rewrite the expression on the right hand side, x squared plus 2x, but now this time we are going to add half of this middle term squared. So half of 2 equals 1, and then we're going to square it, which also equals 1. We're going to add 1 here. Then we still have the plus 3, and then this is the confusing part. Since we magically introduced this plus 1, we have to compensate for it. So we're going to subtract 1. The reason we're doing this is because these first 3 terms give us the form x plus 1 squared. And then this plus 3 minus 1 equals a plus 2, and we are done. The point of completing the square is to turn any trinomial into a binomial squared. So now this is vertex form. I have x plus 1 squared plus 2. Okay, this b over 2, b is going to be that middle term. We cut it in half and then we square it. And then they did exactly what I did. They added 1 and subtracted 1 and rearranged the terms as needed to get the form x plus 1 squared plus 2. Let's do one more example. Okay, this one is going to require some fractions, but that's okay. So I have y equals x squared plus 7x minus 3. Our b value is 7. So half of b is 7 over 2. And then now we need to square it. b over 2 squared equals 7 over 2 squared, which equals 49 over 4. So that's the number I'm going to add and subtract. X squared plus 7x plus 49 over 4 minus 49 over 4 minus 3. This is a rule that a lot of mathematicians use. It's called adding a zero pair. I'm adding something but then taking it away so that I didn't change the value of the problem. I'm just manipulating it so I can rewrite it in another way. So these first 3 terms gives me x plus 7 over 2 squared. And then I still have minus 49 over 4 minus 3. We're going to use our knowledge of how to add and subtract fractions to combine those 2 numbers at the end. This can be minus 49 over 4 minus 12 over 4, because 12 over 4 equals 3. We need to have that common denominator. So our final answer is going to be x plus 7 over 2 minus 61 over 4. X plus 7 divided by 2, making sure you're using these parentheses correctly, squared, minus 61 divided by 4. Okay, so again, the process is identifying the b value, cutting it in half. They use decimals instead of fractions. You can use whatever you're more comfortable with. I recommend using fractions, but you can use decimals if you prefer. So figuring out what b over 2 is, that was 3.5. Squaring it gives us 12.25, or we got the number 49 over 4. And then we add and subtract that value so that we manipulate the equation. And moving some things around, we get vertex form. X plus 7 over 2 quantity squared minus 61 over 4.